They're fair. Peyton Manning is the best regular season football player who ever lived. Overall, no, because he got significantly worse under pressure in the playoffs throughout his career. But he's the best regular season football player who ever lived. He is, if he is talking about what made him that way and what separated him, that's fair. Now, Tony Romo could say, look, I wasn't the anointed one since birth in football, and so I had a kind of tougher road to get there. Don't tell me about internal motivation and concentration and such. Okay, Romo's also a crazy good athlete. And I would say it would be sort of like, maybe it lacks a little bit of professional courtesy, but it'd be, look, you know what the odds are that Peyton Manning will ever be the broadcaster that Tony Romo is? Slim. And if he did, and Romo made some critique of Peyton Manning, hey, what do you think of your these comments that Peyton Manning made about broadcasting? And Romo pointed one or two things out that he felt, that he does himself that maybe separates him. That'd be fair too.
Here's the reality, man. When I look at this, I have to throw a big if, because when I think of Peyton Manning, he's the model citizen. And I believe when he made these statements, he made these talking about himself. But if he was talking about Tony Romo, he's absolutely wrong. This is something you cannot do. And it's a horrible notion that we give to our fellow athletes, is that the only thing that you have to think about is playing ball, playing basketball, playing football. I know that level of focus and what it takes. But ultimately, there's a life beyond basketball, football, whatever sport you play. And 99% of us will never be Peyton Manning. We'll never have those opportunities. So we have to figure out what life is like beyond basketball, beyond football, beyond whatever our sport is. And apparently, I had a blessing. What was my big blessing? During the lockout, I had an opportunity to sit back and go, man, Ryan, you're 7 feet tall, but one day you are going to be a regular guy. You're going to have to get a job. And that's when I took a focus and said, hey, man,
Ryan,
I want to do broadcasting. I want to talk about this. I want this to be something that I can do. So outside of playing your actual sport, there is nothing wrong, athletes, and hear me, with actually focusing on something beyond your profession.
And now look at you, telling 7 foot tall stories on television. 7 foot tall tales, 7 foot tall opinions on television.
Good turn of a phrase.
You're doing a good job, Ryan. I think it's can I talk like the kids for a second? I think it's a weird flex by Peyton. It's just like, why do you have to do this on Tony Romo? I really appreciate who Peyton Manning was. I think he was 100% all in. But you know what else I think? I think Tony Romo was as well. This idea that you don't have the ability to hold two thoughts in your mind at the same time is kind of ridiculous. It's like when athletes like Kevin Durant, for example, was asked, where are you going to play next year? And he would say, I haven't thought about it. I don't think about hypotheticals. I'm only focused on the moment. Okay, I get it. You're all in on the Warriors. You're all in on the moment. And I believe you. But when you're taking a bath or something, you don't think about Brooklyn? When you're in the shower or you're, whatever it is, wherever you do your quiet time, Brooklyn doesn't pop into your head? Please, man. So Tony Romo, when he wasn't in the film room, when he wasn't practicing, might have had a thought that he wanted to broadcast one day. Please, Peyton. Maybe Peyton didn't. Maybe Peyton's like, because I will tell you, he hadn't seemed to pick a post-career career yet. We all wondered, is it going to be politician, broadcaster? Is it going to be GM? I don't know. He hadn't picked. So maybe that's the price of being all in, But I think most guys can hold two thoughts in their head at the same time.
And I would also say, I think it's fair what he said, even if it comes off as a bit rude in terms of professional courtesy. I would also say, Tom Brady may say something like if Peyton Manning made a statement years from now and Tom Brady made some statement that really related to why Peyton Manning didn't have better success in the playoffs, that would be fair too.
Well, look at this. The one thing we have to apply by guys like LeBron James, and obviously you have to focus on your craft. It's the reason that you get opportunities on television and business because of what you've done in athletics. That's the reality. LeBron James has pushed the notion we're more than athletes. We're just not these dumb jocks that go out and play a sport and just beat each other up. We are individuals. We are intelligent. We are smart. So I hope that Peyton Manning's not putting this notion that that's all that you can do. Because guess what? There's one Peyton Manning. One guy who just can do whatever he wants after football, after playing.
And there's also only one Kevin Durant. We asked the Twitterverse a question today. We said, will Kevin Durant actually be a better player when he returns? 90% of people, 80% of people said yes, he will be a better player when he comes back.
Thanks, Max.
Wow.
Thanks, Max. Thanks, people. You hear that, Max?
Might have his best moments when he
Hold on,
comes
guys,
back,
sorry.
but he won't be the same player.
The statistics are skewed. It's 80%
I was going to say. I was going to
Hey,
say.
guys, that's
he
it.
did pop his Achilles. I mean, you don't really come back at 110%.
But you know what? Guess who's going to be back on Monday? Stephen A. Smith. We are ready for some good debates. We'll see you next time. Coast to Coast is next.